Well, we were at the Superior Bathhouse Brewery in Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's May 25th, 2022. They normally carry 18 different varieties of beer, and I'll read off the ones that I've tried, and that is their Killer Irish Red and their Goat Rock Bach.
I tried the Madden No. 1, a Blondale, the Space Force Hazy IPA, the Bee's Knees, a Blondale with a light touch of honey and basil, and the Weekday Warrior. It's an IPL. So I pretty much thought all of them tasted good, and for the type of beer that they were, especially. The IPL tasted like a IPL, and it was flavorful. Everything seems to be really fresh. I don't know if it's because they use the water here from Hot Springs, but all of the beers taste crisp and fresh. I really like a hazy IPA, so I like the Space Force Hazy IPA a lot. It's pretty strong. And then I'm drinking today the Bee's Knees, the Blondale. It's a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it's noon and we're on our way back to Fort Worth, so we didn't want to have too much and be compromised.
Yeah.
So of the two, the Killer Irish Red has a real good flavor. It's real smooth and mild. And the Bach that I had, the Goat Rock, I think that would be my preferred favorite. It's a little bit heavier, not much. But this afternoon I just wanted something a little bit lighter. Now, one thing that's unique about this location is they use the hot spring water. I can show it to you in just a minute. So there's no contaminants in there, and they don't have to modify the water a whole lot since it comes out of the ground at 144 degrees. So that's kind of unique. This is also the only brewery in a national park for the United States.
Yeah, it's really a neat location. We're out on the patio. It's a little bit noisy, but it's really nice with umbrellas and
a nice green area right next to us. That's part of the
park.
The national park.
Yeah, on the inside they have a pretty good, decent menu too. We were here back a couple of weeks ago and had lunch here. Really nice selection of food. The food was really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people eating inside, and there's just us two drinking outside.
We're the only day drinkers today with no food. We're full from breakfast.
We're committed. So I'll show you the green. It's just right next to us here.
It's pretty I think it's the Arlington Hotel in the backdrop. It's a really pretty view.
Yeah. The inside of that Arlington Hotel is really nice. It's probably built around the turn of the century. And it's got some great architecture and structure inside. Gonna pause that. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take you on a little tour of the facility. Here's a great patio. Everything's covered. It is dog friendly. Little sign inside that says "We love dogs." This is a spring. This is one of them that's locked up, but this is where they get their water from. This is where they brew the beers. One thing that's unique is behind locked doors. That's Jonathan. I talked to him yesterday. This is the bar that serves the back patio. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How do you guys get? Do you want to be on film?
You're fine.
Do you want to be or not?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. So, how do you guys come up with the names of your beers?
So the brewer is just like puns. That's kind of their thing.
Uh-huh.
A lot of it's just them being quirky. There's not really a thing to it with the names.
Do you guys do any of the wait staff ever get to name them?
Yeah, so if you've worked here for 5 years, you get a beer named after you.
Oh, that's cool.
So number 12, it just switched over, but it was the Pavlovic pepper, and that was one of our manager's last names.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The Dos Irish, it's an Irish-Mexican lager, and one of my other bartenders, he's half Mexican, half Irish, and so he calls it his beer, and then about the beer. So it's kind of cool with that, but it's all just quirky names. They just kind of come up with it, like really funny stuff.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. One half the restaurant. The other half of the restaurant that you can eat inside. Here's some of the swag they have. And there we go, we're started. So, Jonathan, you're I'm
I'm
not
a brewer.
The brew master, but a brewer.
A brewer, yes.
So, how many brewers are here?
There's only two.
Okay.
Jim is the head brewer, brewmaster. He's the one that came up with most of the recipes. They've been here just under 9 years.
Is he an owner?
No, he's not an owner.
Okay.
That's Rose Schweikart. She's the one that owns the business. You know, with the thermal spring water being here and then this building being vacant, you know, she felt like there wasn't any craft beer like in the city of Hot Springs, and why not utilize the thermal spring water? It saves energy, so you don't have to heat it up as much because it comes out of the ground at 144 degrees. It's really high in bicarbonate. There's barely any chlorine, so that's really good. High in magnesium.
I was going to ask you if you had to do any reverse osmosis or anything like that in
No,
the water.
we
You
don't.
just use it as it comes out?
We just treat it with lactic acid to drop the pH to about 5.1, 5.2 in that range. That's perfect for brewing beer. So it doesn't have as much astringency, things of that nature.
Cool.
And yeah, it's just me and Jim, and we account for like 50% of the profit in the company.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So do you know how Rose was able to talk the U.S. government into letting her
Well, that was
set up?
through the Interior Design or Department of Interior. Sorry, that's it. Department of Interior. She had to go through a couple hoops and to secure the building and getting the approval of the federal government to brew beer here. I don't know the exact process because I wasn't here. That's more of a question for her. She's busy doing stuff right now, but yeah, she got it all approved, and she's been here. We've been brewing, I think, officially for over 5 years, because at first it was just like guest taps at first, and then
Okay.
they finally started brewing their own beer once they got the brew house in here and everything.
So how long have you been brewing with them?
I have been here just over a year and a half, I believe. My anniversary is in October, so I'll be here 2 years once October.
Is this your
rolls
first
around.
brewing job, or were you somewhere else?
No. I started brewing beer at Firestone Walker Brewing Company in California. I was there for just under 5 years, and then I was a brewer at this place called Santa Maria Brewing in California as well. And then after the pandemic hit, it was one of those things where I was like, I need to get out of California. Way too expensive, a lot of taxes, you could barely keep your head above water,
Well, I understand California.
Yeah, that's we're born and raised there.
So you mentioned the pandemic.
Yes.
How did that affect your business here?
We actually had it when I got hired here. They were doing like to-go orders, curbside pickups. I think they did have a thing where they delivered some beer growlers, mainly like root beer and things of that nature, to people.
Yeah.
But we had an increase in sales, and so in the end of 2021, I want to say they had already surpassed their 2019 numbers. In 2019, they were open the entire year. So craft beer has been picking up on the, alcohol sales were through the roof. I mean, what were people going to do? You know what I mean? I think it was up like 120% during the year of 2020 and 2021.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
Couple more questions. How many people do you guys employ here?
I would say, let's see, we got like 15 upstairs and 15 downstairs. I would say right around 30 to 35
Pretty good
employees.
size operation.
Yeah, pretty good. We've got a pretty solid crew.
And most breweries have charitable organizations that they work with. Do you guys work with anybody?
Yes, we do. So there's the Northwoods Trail, all that mountain biking and hiking and stuff that's just over this way. We supply beer for their like this event. The Good Run is like their most popular biking event. We supplied beer for their Mullet Run, little bike things. So we do, just come out having fun at the event. Oh, also there's music festivals out there. I believe it's called Valley of the Vapors, and we also supply beer to those events. So anything that goes on in like the Northwoods Trail, we'll set up shop, taps, and if anyone wants to have a nice cold beer on a hot day after a bike race, or if they're enjoying some live music and food, go get yourself some beers.
Very good.
Yeah, and we did do a promotional beer with Mountain Valley Water last summer for the film festival that we had here. That was at certain locations like the Central Theater over here in the Arlington. They had film festivals, and we brewed beer with Mountain Valley Water to see what the difference would be. And Mountain Valley Water is the company that puts on the film festival, so we brewed beer with their water, which was quite the event, because we had to haul, because we had to take a bunch of Grundies and corny kegs. We had to take it all the way out to their plant and then have them fill up 800 gallons worth of water so we could brew beer with their water, and we were like pumping it into our HLT to heat it up, and that was a really fun event. We've also done things with the national park where we've brewed. We call them the green pants because they always wear green pants.
Yes.
So we've collaborated with them to do like a green pants lager. This year, I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be brewing a Dunkel with the National Park Service, and this time they actually want to mill the grain, come in and mash in, and then do the Vorloff and sparge and boil the grain out. They want to do the process from beginning to end. So that's going to be a pretty fun event.
Good.
Yeah, really excited for that.
All right. So that was all my questions. Anything else you want to mention as it goes on your video?
I'm good.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop it here.